So I want to share with you a really neat program I came across the other day. I came across this really simple application that helps manage your Autostart entries. And the reason this was of interest to me is because recently I made a video. If you go back about a month ago, I had this video creating an Autostart programs manager using bash scripting. I wrote a bash script. It's basically a fuzzy finder script where if I want to, I can add and remove Autostart entries, here through the magic of bash scripting using the fuzzy finder command. Let me escape out of that. And all my script does is just adds and removes Autostart desktop entry files into your .config/Autostart directory. Well, of course, you can do that with simple bash scripting, but if you don't want to script your own Autostart manager, there are plenty of programs out there that do this for you. One of the coolest ones I've come across is this program called Ignition. This is a minimal app for editing Autostart entries on a Freedesktop-compliant Linux distribution. This is free and open source software. It's licensed under the GPL version 3. For those of you that want to install Ignition and try it out, it is available as a Flatpak. So even if it isn't in your Linux distribution's core repositories, if you have Flatpak as an option, install Ignition as a Flatpak. And let me switch to a different workspace and let's go ahead and launch Ignition and show you what it is. Very simple, right? It's just a simple window that lists everything in your .config/Autostart directory. Right now, I have two programs that Autostart every time I log in. Flameshot has a little sys tray icon that sits there so I can quickly take screenshots because I take a lot of screenshots of my desktop. And the Nextcloud desktop client also auto-starts and sits in my sys tray. You guys can't see the system tray that's part of my Qtile panel because I've got a triple monitor system and the sys tray is actually on a monitor that I'm not recording right now. But essentially this is just a GTK application. It's basically a GTK version of my fuzzy finder script, right? And so all you need to do, you want to add a new Autostart desktop entry, click the new button, create a new entry, add an app, and then it searches through user share applications and various directories like that where .desktop files typically live on your system. And for example, if you want to auto-start, let me find something that maybe I want to auto-start every time I log in. Maybe I want my Brave browser to auto-start every time I log in. Go ahead and create that. And now if I log out of Qtile and log back in, Brave will be one of the 3 programs now that auto-start. Now let me launch my file manager and let me go ahead and have Ignition side by side with the file manager. So in your user's home directory, you have .config. Go into .config/Autostart, and there are our Autostart files. So, when you create a new Autostart entry, it gets put in this directory. If you delete an entry, it just deletes things from this directory, right? And of course, you could do this yourself. It's not like these kind of programs are necessary, but they do save you a little time. If you don't want to, for example, go to the terminal and copy over a .desktop file from user share applications over into .config/Autostart, you can certainly do all of that yourself. But if you're one of these people that have a lot of things that are auto-starting every time you log in, you've got a lot of programs to manage, certainly a program like Ignition is certainly a useful tool. So I just added Brave as an auto-start program. I don't really want my Brave browser auto-starting when I log in, so I could delete the entry and it should delete this from my auto-start directory. But the neat thing about Ignition is you have the ability to enable or disable an entry. If I disable it and hit apply, Brave is still here, but it's no longer going to be auto-started, right? So it's still sitting there, but it's not going to auto-start when I log into Qtile. And if I go to the .desktop entry sitting in my auto-start directory here, let's go ahead and let me open this. I'll open it with NeoVim. And there is a line in here, hidden equals true. Now watch what happens when I decide to enable Brave again. Let me go ahead and enable that. You can see hidden equals false now. So that's what it's doing. It's just changing that line. So you don't have to necessarily add and remove these desktop entries, especially if you want to disable something temporarily, but you're going to enable it for auto start later. Just doing that enable disable function is a really neat thing to do. And of course, if I know I'm never going to want the Brave browser to auto start, I could just move it to trash. It just deletes that entry from my auto start directory. So there you have it. That's Ignition. Nothing really else to it. I mean, it's a very simple application. You've got what you just saw. There was a search function if you needed to search for a particular entry. Other than that, there's some keyboard shortcuts, but for really simple applications, I have noticed this with a lot of these kind of simple tools. Sometimes they have key bindings. I don't understand the point of adding key bindings to things that don't have much functionality anyway, but there are some key bindings if you want them. Other than that, you have the ability to open your Autostart folder. That just opens your file manager to .config/Autostart. So that's all that does. So that is Ignition. Now, before I go, I need to thank a few special people. I need to thank the producers of this episode. And of course, I'm talking about Matt, Steve, 40mm, Kept Caveman, Darloff, Lee, Jersey Killer, Mark, Methos, Urion, Paul, Peace Wash, and Fedora, Realities for Less, Red Prophet, Roland, War, Gentoo, and Ubuntu, and Willie. These guys, they're my highest tiered patrons over on Patreon. Without these guys, this quick look at Ignition would not have been possible. The show is also brought to you by each and every one of these fine ladies and gentlemen. All these names you're seeing on the screen right now. These are all my supporters over on Patreon because I don't have any corporate sponsors. I'm sponsored by you guys, the community. If you like my work, want to see more videos about great free and open source software like Ignition, subscribe to DistroTube over on Patreon. Peace, guys.